Hi, everybody. It's time for our lunch break musings. I missed yesterday because I was in and out of the doctors and the clinic and yada, 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 doing all the normal stuff, which takes up most of my day, which it did. So I just never had the time to even attempt to do a musings for the day. And then I'm out here, I'm at lunch, I just finished my lunch, and I go to pull out my cards to do a reading for today and discover I forgot to pack my cards this morning. So, we're just going to do this via spirit altogether, no cards, and we'll see what happens. Um, I saw a I saw a video earlier on Erica Kirk, and evidently, and I was not aware of this because I don't pay much attention to her. And just to back up a little bit, her love story just never quite felt real to me, I guess you could say. Um, the memorial service that they held, it she came across to me as more of someone who was just seeking the limelight. She was soaking it up. She was, she was the star of the show now, and her very artful tears that never messed up her makeup or made her mascara run. Um, I mean, I know what it's like to lose your husband. I lost my husband. Granted, I was probably about maybe a little bit older than she is when I lost my husband. I was in my late 30s. And you're not capable of, let me take that back. I was not capable of being able to talk to people about him for probably a good year, year and a half, before I could even approach the subject and not just burst into tears. Um, and so it just, the whole charade of this memorial service that she held and whatnot, none of his family was there. His parents, his sisters, none of his family were there. And now it's coming to light that evidently he was questioning his his marriage to Miss Erica, according to his sisters. That he was starting to feel like he was just a target that was he was just a target for her. That for whatever reason, whoever it was that she was involved with, uh, what they call a honeypot, sort of like the first lady to the current occupant. Same thing, a honeypot. She was placed there by someone who wanted certain things to happen. And there are people from the Turning Point uh, uh, company who stated that before Mr. Kirk's unaliving, that she was starting to take more and more and more control of the organization, and that people didn't appreciate the way she was doing things. They didn't appreciate the way that she would kind of stroll in the middle of a meeting and just take over, completely override anything and everything that Charlie was saying. And that when there were events being held, suddenly she would have her people show up who would very quietly start replacing the people within the organization that do the certain events. And so I'm watching and listening to this, and I'm thinking to myself, this is really ringing true to me, that uh, their little love story wasn't quite as true as they tried to push it. And I think he was starting to realize it. He was, according to friends and family members, he was starting to make comments about He felt like he didn't know who she was. He didn't. He didn't know. Like he felt like he was married to a stranger. He didn't know what. It was like, who is this woman I'm married to? And so it just, like I said, it was ringing true to me listening to this. It's like a 20-minute video. And it was like, as Mel says, my psychic light bulb was going off and flashing neon lights at me, like, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. And so I kind of sat here for a few minutes and just thought, okay, let me just kind of see if I can dip in there and sort of look at what the energy is around this. And I got to tell you, I was quite surprised by the energy level. Looks like it's going to rain. I was quite surprised by the energy level of what I was picking up as I tried to just kind of dip in and see what's going on here. And it felt very true that she was kind of like glad he was gone. Like, okay, he's out of the way. Now I can do what I've set out to do from the beginning. Now, she could have sat back on her laurels and let the people of Turning Point continue to do their thing and run this company, and she would have raked in probably around $10 million a year, they're saying. But evidently that wasn't enough money for her. So she's kind of stepped in, and she's stepping on toes and ruffling a lot of feathers with how she's kind of taking over Turning Point USA. And now, I don't know very much about this organization. I didn't like Charlie Kirk. I didn't care for his attitude about women and minorities. It really just rubbed me the wrong way. It was like, yeah, dude, this is so archaic, you know. It's like, do you even have a clue just how out of touch with reality you are? And the fact that he was able to pull in the attention from young kids was kind of disturbing. I mean, he had a fairly large following of college-age students who really kind of bought into his rhetoric and what he was preaching. And that's really kind of sad when you think about it, because he was not very aware of the fact that there are multitudes of races on this planet. And if we want things to be better, we have to learn to just accept one another for who we are and look past the skin color or the gender or the sexual orientation or the religion or the country or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all people, right? And he didn't seem to get that. She doesn't seem to get that. It's like she's aiming really hard at trying to frog leap up into the next echelon of power brokers, with her sights on a certain vice president. And, you know, she's got that doughy-eyed, blonde, oh, I'm just a little old woman. I just take care of my family. You know, it's like bullshit. That's not your character at all. And if you watch the memorial service, you can see where several times you could see it in her face where she kind of broke that mold of that facade that she was pushing out. And so today, as I was trying to just dip in a little bit, there was a lot of resistance there. For me to get in and really get a good look at her, I'm going to have to really have time to prepare for it. I'll probably feel better doing that if I have like Nath with me or something that's good at helping me go down into that energy and then pulling me out when it's time to come out. And it feels like she's trying to latch on to the next level. And of course, with MAGA being the way MAGA is, the current vice president will never become the current president with a brown wife and brown children. And he seems quite adamant about trading her in for the blue-eyed blonde who, has to go rubbing up against him and hugging and running her fingers through his hair in her leather pants. I mean, she wants to wear leather pants, fine, wear leather pants, I don't care. But it's the image that she was projecting just, what was it, like a week or two after her husband died, that all this crap was going on, and it just really hit me at the time even. It was like, what is her story? Because for someone who supposedly was so in love with her husband, she sure doesn't act like it. So, like I said, I made a point of trying to just lightly dip in today while sitting here at lunch. And it was really, really strong that that whole situation was a farce, just a story put out there for people to for people to take in and believe as true. But when you really look at it, when you start dipping into that energy a little bit, it doesn't ring true. It doesn't ring true at all. So I'm going to try this weekend. I'm going to be with Nate a couple of times this weekend. And I'm going to talk to him and ask him if he'll help me dive back down into that energy so that he's there to help pull me out if I go too deep. It's still something I'm learning how to do. So we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe we'll be able to do that this weekend. If not, then the next time that we do a deep dive, we may look into that. But in the meantime, I felt bad. I didn't have my cards. I wasn't able to do an actual reading. I've got to say, just putting feelers out for the general energy that I feel around me is like things feel very much in an upheaval. I was able to chat with a couple of students today because of all the crap going on down here in our state. I was able to talk to a couple of students today who were telling me that they had friends that were like finishing out the year and then they were going to go somewhere else next year. That the vibes weren't there. So that's sad to hear. Because we do have a good school, we do have a good university, and I don't like to see anything bad happen to it. So, all right, anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to touch base with y'all, let you know things are okay. One more day of work, and then I've got a long weekend. Thank you, Jesus. I'm probably going to try to jump on Thursday evening and do a live, just a solo, just because. Maybe I'll do it earlier. And Friday, I'm doing a fundraiser with Nath, and I'm doing a pre-recorded show with Adam Stargazing. And then I'm doing a live stream with Linda G. So that'll be exciting. And then stuff this weekend, and I don't have my book with me. I don't remember. I got stuff this weekend. So, y'all have a great day. Hang in there. Like I said, things are going to get a little worse before they get better. But they are going to get better. And when they do, it's going to be to such an extreme that we're all going to just be blown away by it. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my new bracelets today. These are from Otter Spirit. This is called the Communication Pack, and it's Blue Apatite, Celestine, and Lapis Lazuli. And I love the colors in this. This is just gorgeous. So, all right, let me let you go. Y'all have a good afternoon, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.